Hello folks and welcome to today's vlog. You join me, I want to say early in the morning. It's early in the morning if you allow me to have YouTuber time. All I've done today is I've got up and edited yesterday's vlog and then put together my presentation for the speech thing that I'm doing next week. I'm still in my pyjamas, which for me is yesterday's clothes. But Andy woke me up this morning. He burst into my bedroom saying, "Through Andy's eyes, Daddy!"
Yeah.
Since then, about 3 or 4 hours have passed. He's constantly saying, "Through Andy's eyes, Daddy," because he wants me to put a Through Andy's eyes video up for him. The problem is he hasn't recorded one. We were going to be going to the cathedral today. That's what I offered him the other day, but he doesn't want to go to the cathedral.
In the morning.
He wants to go to the cathedral tomorrow. Because before then,
After school.
We can't go to the cathedral after school. It's too far for after school.
Right.
But he wants me to put out a Through Andy's Eyes video, and through lots of back and forth discussion, he specifically wants a Through Andy's Eyes video from the CBeebies in the Night Garden ride at Alton Towers. But we don't have any of the footage of that. We went there last year. I think we're going to have to go back to Alton Towers at some point in the next few weeks so that he can go on that ride again and film it from his perspective. We did do a full version of that ride that Anna filmed last year while I was doing other bits. It was basically that ride through Anna's eyes we did last year.
Yeah,
but,
through Andy's eyes, but on the way.
but now Andy wants his own version of it. He keeps saying it's on his DS, but all of the DS footage that we had, we took off earlier in the year. And we've published all that now. I think what he's done is he's recorded it on his DS way back when, then deleted it, and doesn't fully understand the concept of it being deleted and gone. So he's been sat there for most of the day watching his own videos, which is one of the cool reasons why those videos exist. But he's now got to the point where he's thinking about other stuff that he's filmed in the past and now wants to watch that, and we just don't have it. Expect an Alton Towers vlog in the very near future. We're having a very, very low-key day today. Anna is, I can't put her on camera because she's not camera safe, but she's...
That sounds so bad.
she's having another one of those days where she's refusing to come on camera because she's not got fancy clothes on, not got fancy makeup on. She's sat there doing her uni work. When's your deadline now? So she's got something due in on Tuesday, next Monday she's got an exam, then she's got more deadlines, so she is full on in exam mode. I have tried and tried and tried to convince this person that we should go out to the cathedral just to get out and about. He was absolutely adamant that that's not something we're going to be doing today. And I don't really know why. He's been so set on wanting a Through Andy's Eyes video for most of the day. It's been what he's been asking for almost all day, and he's finally settled down now, not asking for it, not even ears pricking up when I'm mentioning it, so I think we're over that hurdle now. But it's nearly tea time. I've spent a lot of time working on my presentation for next week. Thank you to those of you who've already left comments on yesterday's video. Please keep them coming. They'll all help with making sure that I give the best talk possible on Thursday. But yeah, it looks like today's going to be quite action-packed because he now wants to go to the cathedral tomorrow morning, which a cathedral on Sunday morning sounds like it's going to be interesting. It's going to be full of people, I imagine. But also, the girls are going to be here tomorrow, and we're going to my dad's for dinner tomorrow, and the baby, the small baby, tiny baby that we saw the other day will also be there. So, lots and lots and lots going on tomorrow.
He wants to give the baby a kiss.
Oh, apparently Andy wants to give the baby a kiss. Andy hasn't met Orla yet, but he gets to meet Orla tomorrow. I have had a few of you ask about all the bruises on his legs and why his legs are completely covered in bruises. He's just clumsy. I think it's a lot of the reason. He bruises really, really easily. He's forever walking into things, and the reason he's always had bruises all over his shins, because you don't see him get on and off sofas very often, or his chair very often, but he doesn't turn around and lower himself onto it bum first. It's not so bad these days, but the old sofa that he used to have, the reason it broke is because he'd just launch himself at it, basically knees first. It was like watching Daniel Bryan throw himself across the ring, knees first. But he will go knees first, and the plank of wood that goes on the bottom of the chair, there, his shins clatter into it every time he gets onto the chair.
It's the fact that he goes to that chair and bangs his shin like on purpose. It's like he's got OCD or something. Like a...
There you go. He bangs his shins on. I've never even seen him do that. I didn't know he does that.
Really?
But yeah, apparently he deliberately bangs his shins into things as well. But he does bruise really, really easy. It's something we talked to his doctor about before. It's probably to do with the lack of vitamins and minerals that he gets. He is going to bruise quite easily because apparently that's what that means. But look, I've trimmed my beard. See? Have I mentioned yet this week how awesome it is that it's 7:30 in the evening and I'm just wandering around in shorts? There you go. The knee shot for the 3rd day in a row. This weather is just awesome. It's like being on holiday. It's April. Even crazier is the fact that the news reckons there's going to be snow coming again next week. Snow. I am going to be doing a Q&A in a few minutes. I asked for some questions on Twitter a couple of hours ago. I was planning on doing that out in the garden right now with this awesome golden hour lighting, but just as I was getting set up, just as I was turning off Stardew Valley on the Switch, Andy said he wanted a little Galaxy chocolate bar. So I'm now heading to the shops to buy Andy a chocolate bar. Talking of Stardew Valley, for anyone else who plays it, you'll understand how hard it is for me to just walk past that. Spring's nearly over, everybody. I need those. Chocolate bar purchased. Let's try walking backwards. Chocolate bar purchased. We still have some light in this direction. I'm now thinking this outdoor Q&A that I had planned might not be a thing that happens. Am I going to get home in time before the light fails me? Andy! Andy, chocolate.
Yeah.
You going to come and eat it?
I'm going to sit there at the table.
Yeah, you sit at that table and eat it. You can't eat it on the sofa. There you go, you have a chocolate bar.
The end.
There you go, I think that's still light enough. Plus, you get the joys of Anna's washing being behind me, which, you know, I'm going to keep going on about this. It's 8 o'clock in the evening. We've still got washing out. This is awesome weather. So let's get through some of these questions then. Mel Legg says, what size clothes/shoes does Andy wear? His shoes are like 2, I think. And his clothes, usually gets clothes for like 11, 12-year-olds, so slightly under his age. Griff Owen says, if you could only use Mac or Windows computers for the rest of your life, what would you choose? I spend more of my time working than playing, and for work, I use a Mac. They don't play games very well, but I could always use the Xbox, the PlayStation, the Switch to play games on, and just use the Mac for work. So if I had to choose, I'd choose Mac. But I don't have to choose, which is why I have both. Zach says, what's my opinion on the current education system? Oh, there's an awful lot wrong with it. That could be a video all on its own. Too target driven, doesn't prepare people for real life at all, doesn't give them real life skills, too much about grades that in the grand scheme of things don't really mean anything, too much pressure on kids, and teachers are overworked. So all in all, it's a bit broken. Shaz says, where do I see myself and my family in 5 years' time? So 5 years' time, let's do some quick maths. I'll be 40. I'll be 40 years old. So that means Amy, who is the youngest, will be 16. So she'll just be doing her GCSEs. Andy will be 18. So Andy will just be transitioning out of school and into whatever's next. So that's probably going to be one of, if not the most stressful things in the rest of our lives. In exactly 5 years' time will be Andy's transition out of education and into whatever's next. Load that on to Amy doing her GCSEs at the same time, and Lucy will just be finishing university, assuming she goes from GCSEs into sixth form or college and then on to university. She'll just be hitting her final year of university. Oh my goodness, I think based on those 3 pieces of information, I think in 5 years' time I'll be sailing around the world with no way of being contacted, leaving everyone to sort out their own stuff, and I'll come back when it's all done, because that sounds like a stressful year. Bo Riley says, what stage do you think Andy will be at this time next year? I don't know. I don't really get the question. Hopefully he'll just continue gradual improvement. But like we said before, we always have these ups, and then there will be a down at some point, and we don't know when that'll come, and we don't know what form it will take. But all we ever hope for is happiness and improvement, and that's what we've had for the last year, fairly solidly. For the couple of years before that, we had the opposite, so who knows where we'll be in a year's time. Hopefully it'll all continue to be positive. Jack says, what started my craze for wrestling? I tripped to the seaside, back in the late 80s. I would have been 7 or 8 years old. We went to the seaside, and me and my brother were just being whiny little kids, I imagine, and my parents, for some reason, bought us a WWF sticker book each, a whole load of WWF stickers, and we spent the whole journey back from the seaside in the back of the car putting stickers into our new sticker books. And I distinctly remember the page that had Tugboat on, but who went on to become Typhoon as part of the tag team Earthquake and Typhoon when he turned on Hulk Hogan. But yeah, that sticker book led to us getting tapes from my uncle, my dad's brother, who would tape any wrestling that you could find off of Sky, because they had Sky, we didn't. So that must have been a little bit late. That must have been early 90s by the time that happened. Perhaps it was later. Perhaps it was the early 90s that the sticker book thing happened, but we ended up going back and watching wrestling from the late 80s, because I've got the WrestleMania 3 VHS still knocking around somewhere, double VHS with Andre the Giant Hulk Hogan on, which I've watched over and over again. But yeah, just late 80s. Wrestling was massive. We had SummerSlam in the UK in 92, I think. Hulk Hogan was the biggest household name in wrestling ever. It was the right time to hook a kid in. I did drift away a little bit for quite a long time, but then probably in the last 3 years or so, I've probably launched back into it again. I've always had these little spells of 2 or 3 years where I'm really into it, and then I drift away again, but at the moment I'm properly into it. Shaney Tormy says, question for you, Kev and Anna. If there was a cure for autism that was 100% going to work, would you give it to Andy? No, because A, there couldn't ever be, because autism isn't an illness. It's a different way of a brain working, a different way of a brain functioning. It's just a difference. Different is not broken. A cure for autism for Andy would turn him into a completely different person, and he wouldn't be Andy anymore. So no, we'd rather just keep him as him, rather than have to get to know this completely different kid, this completely different 13-year-old kid who just wouldn't be him. So the Andy we know now would be gone, and we'd have to get to know this completely different kid with different interests and a totally different personality. No thanks. Aidan says, besides Football Manager, what's my favourite game of all time? I'm never quite sure. I give different answers at different times. I would say probably Bioshock or Skyrim. Anna would say Fallout New Vegas, or maybe Borderlands 2, probably. Eva says, how did I get into Football Manager? Again, it relates to my uncle. We bought a Spectrum off my uncle, again, same sort of time, late 80s, and it came with this massive filing cabinet full of games on cassettes. One of those games was Kenny Dalglish Soccer Manager. Me and my dad would sit and play that in the evenings. I'd sit on his knee while he was controlling it, and we'd write all the details down in a little exercise book, and it was the best thing ever. And as I got older, I got Premier Manager on the Mega Drive. I moved on to Championship Manager 2, I think it was, on PC. I think I missed the original Championship Manager, but Championship Manager 2 on PC I definitely had when we got around to getting a PC. And from there, I've just had it every year. It's my favourite. Just Tommy says, how did I decide to make my gaming channel mainly about Football Manager? Because it's the one game I can guarantee that I'm going to be playing. I spoke to a few people around the time I was starting YouTube and was told, don't try and do a multi-game channel straight away. It's too hard. You need to pick a game, lump into it 100%. And the only game I could do that with is Football Manager, because it's the only thing I can guarantee I'm not going to get bored of, and I'll play every day. Jamie says, what keeps me inspired to make videos every day? It's better than having a real job. But no, in all seriousness, I enjoy it. I get up every day, and for the first time in my life, really, I get up every morning. I'm excited to go to work every day. Saturdays are weird for me at the moment. I did some editing this morning, and I did a bit of work at lunchtime, and then I've sat around from sort of 3-4 o'clock onwards while Anna's been working away on her uni work. I've just been really, really bored, and I kind of want to just go out to the office and do some work. So I just love what I do. So it's if you find, I think if it's something you're interested in, if you want to make videos and you find it hard to motivate yourself to do it, then perhaps that isn't the thing you should be doing. And I think that goes for everything. If it's a struggle to force yourself to do it, or you have to force yourself to do it, or it feels like a chore, then it's probably not the thing. And different people find their thing at different points in their lives. I was 33 years old when I figured out what my thing was, after trying multiple different careers before then and never really having that fire and that motivation for any of them. And then the thing appeared, and all of a sudden I'm a workaholic. Connor says, do I prefer streaming or making and uploading videos? I like them both equally. I really enjoy the direct interaction of streaming. I think that's really cool. The fact it's basically just a conversation with people. I really like that aspect of streaming. But with videos, I like the fact that it goes out to a bigger audience, more people see it, and they see it at different times. And I really like the fact that people will come back to me 2 years later and talk to me about a video that I made. And I think the fact that videos kind of stick around forever rather than being just in that one moment makes video really cool. Plus, I think I'm probably a better storyteller through video than I am through streaming at the moment. My streams do tend to be almost completely led by the viewers, and they just become 2-hour-long Q&As. I think I would like to get better at the story element of streaming, but it's hard balancing that with the fact that I just really enjoy having a chat with everybody. So I think streaming I consider just having a chat after work, and it doesn't even feel like I'm working, whereas video, I love the whole finding a story out of that day's gaming or that day's thing that I've been doing. I've said thing a lot today. Hannah says, do I like Rick and Morty? Not really. I watched made it halfway through the first episode, didn't enjoy it, and so I stopped. I hear it does get better. I tend not to give stuff a second chance. I'm too busy to go back, and if something doesn't grab me straight away, then they probably should have tried harder on their first episode. And finally, Jagolo FM says, what's 1 + 2 × 3? 7. Right, we're going to end things there for today's vlog. If you have enjoyed it, please make sure you leave a nice big thumbs up on there for me. Subscribe to the channel for more daily vlogs. And thank you very much for watching.